If you're a clinician who performs functional capacity evaluations, you know that your work is a blend of science, art, and on-the-fly professional judgment. But what happens when the very tools you use to document that work are fighting you every step of the way? Well, let's talk about that disconnect and a whole different way of thinking that puts you back in the driver's seat. So let me just ask you this straight up. Does your current documentation system, the one you use every single day, does it actually respect your clinical judgment? Or does it feel like you're constantly trying to cram your professional observations into boxes that just don't fit? Like you're in a battle with the software just to say what you actually saw. And that feeling right there, that's what we call the FCE disconnect. Because here's the truth we all know. FCEs aren't linear. They just can't be. You have to adapt in a moment, right? You're reacting to client fatigue, to pain behaviors, to the very specific demands of a referral. It's a fluid, dynamic process. But so often, our tools, whether they're paper or software, try to force this process into a rigid, one-size-fits-all mold. Now, this disconnect usually traps clinics in one of two really frustrating situations. Over on one side, you've got the old-school paper and pencil systems. Yeah, they're flexible, but at what cost? We're talking massive inefficiency and a huge risk of errors. And on the other side, well, you've got other software that promises a solution, but ends up creating a whole new set of problems. I mean, let's be real about the paper-based world for a second. It might feel like you're in control, but it's an illusion that's built on just a ton of manual effort. Think about it. Every single data point gets transcribed over and over. From your notes to a spreadsheet, from the spreadsheet to a Word doc, each one of those steps is a brand new chance for an error, which just puts a crushing weight on your QA process. And you know the drill. The whole thing often hinges on that one Excel expert in the office who keeps the system from completely falling apart. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. The people work hard to make the system function, not the other way around. When your highly skilled, highly paid clinicians are burning hours just to make a documentation system work, well, that system has failed. The burden should be on the tool, not on your team. Okay, so what about other software? A lot of clinics make the jump to software to escape that paper chaos, only to run smack into what we call the locked PDF problem. The system spits out this generic cookie-cutter report, and you can't easily change it. So now you've got this awful choice. Do you send out a report that feels impersonal and doesn't really reflect your clinic's brand? Or do you waste hours fighting with a locked PDF, trying to make it look right? Neither of those options feels good. So what's the alternative? It all starts with a completely different philosophy, a core belief that the software needs to adapt to the clinician, not the other way around. It's about building a tool that actually supports your clinical reasoning and lets you test and document the way you already practice. It's about putting you, the expert, back in control. And here's what's really important to understand about this approach. We are not just talking about you going into a settings menu and tweaking a few options. That's just configuration. We're talking about real, actual collaboration. We work with you to actively shape the system to fit your clinic's specific terminology, your unique workflow, and your professional voice. And this is the part that usually surprises people. This deep level of customization isn't some expensive enterprise-level add-on that costs a fortune. It's included. It's part of our standard service because we fundamentally believe your software should feel like it was made for you right from day one. So let's make this really concrete. Take a look at these two images. On the left, you see a generic report. On the right, you see a professional branded report. That's your report. Our goal isn't to replace the brand and format you've worked so hard to build. It's to power it. We take our data engine and plug it right into the report format you already use and are proud of. And the process to get this done, it couldn't be easier. Step 1, you send us your current FCE report template as a Microsoft Word document. Step 2, you fill out a really simple mapping document that just tells us, hey, put this table here, put this paragraph there. And step 3, our team does all the work to integrate it for you. That's it. It really is that straightforward. Now, this idea extends right into the data collection itself. Every clinic has its own way of saying things, right? Your own unique test instructions and phrasing. Just look at the slide. We can take your exact protocols and build that precise language right into the software interface that your clinicians use every single day. So it feels familiar because it is familiar. So how does that work? Again, it's a simple collaborative process. You just give us a document with your exact wording. Our team then goes in and modifies the test descriptions right inside the platform. And the result? An interface that speaks your clinic's language, which makes everything more consistent and makes training new staff so much easier. For most of our clients, getting their own report template and their own terminology into the system is a complete game changer. But hey, your practice evolves, right? What happens when your needs grow? What if you want to develop something totally new? Well, let's take a quick look at how this partnership can grow with you. We believe in being completely transparent, so this table lays it all out. That core stuff we've been talking about, the report integration and getting your terminology in there, that's all included with your subscription, no extra charge. Now for more in-depth custom work, like say building a brand new test from scratch, adding custom algorithms, or designing new table styles, we provide a separate quote for that. It's just a clear, honest partnership. So why does all of this actually matter? What's the real-world result of having a system that adapts to you? It's actually pretty simple, and it's incredibly powerful. Your team spends less time fighting with paperwork and more time doing what they're trained to do, clinical practice. That whole administrative burden just shrinks, freeing up your most valuable asset, your clinician's time and expertise. And look, we're not talking about saving a few minutes here and there. Our partners, including large national networks, have reported time savings of 2 to 4 hours per FCE. Just think about that for a second. That's time saved across the board, in data collection, in report writing, and in the whole QA process. That is a massive, massive return on investment. But you don't have to just take my word for it. Listen to what Chris Scoma, a director at Results Physiotherapy, had to say. Quote, using the metrics platform has decreased our report writing time to almost 0. That's what happens when the system generates the final report in your format using your language. That whole tedious final editing stage, it just disappears. So just imagine what this new reality looks like. It means your report turnaround times get way, way faster. It means your QA process is no longer a bottleneck. It means you basically eliminate all those frustrating little formatting errors. But, most importantly, it means you're giving your clinicians their time back so they can focus on clinical reasoning and deliver reports in your clinic's authentic professional voice. So when it all comes down to it, the point is this. It's time to stop working for your software. It's time to break that frustrating cycle of fighting with locked PDFs. It's time to start delivering reports that truly reflect the quality of your clinical work, with a system that finally works with you instead of against you.